Welcome to Introduction to Philosophy of the Human Person, Topic 3, Part 3, Metaphysics, the Nature of Truth, Continuation, the Coherence Theory of Truth, and the Pragmatic Theory of Truth. So, let's get started. Okay. In this lesson, we will be dealing with the coherence theory of truth and the pragmatic theory of truth. We will also discuss the problems of these theories and also cite examples and thought process. At the end of this lesson, students will be able to first define the coherence and pragmatic theory of truth, examine the nature of the coherence and pragmatic theory of truth, and identify the problem of the coherence and pragmatic theory of truth. As an introduction sa coherence theory of truth in modern philosophy, the coherence theory of truth was defended by Baruch Spinoza, Immanuel Kant. So, ang mga nakalista po rito sila po yung mga pangunahing mga proponent ng coherence theory of truth. Okay? So, let's first define what coherence mean para maunawaan natin yung salitang coherence theory of truth. So yung salitang coherence, it means suitable connection or dependence. Pwede din siyang tawaging consistency in narrative or argument. Also more literally, act or state of sticking together, cleaving of one thing to another. So talagang to stick together, be coherent, be consistent, to adhere. Ito ay according to sa etymonline.com. Yan ang ibig sabihin ng salitang coherence. So, coherence theory of truth regards truth as coherence within some specified set of sentences or propositions or beliefs. Ito naman ay according sa Wikipedia and I don't think if babasahin natin plainly itong definition na ito if magigets talaga natin siya kaagad. So according to this theory, I believe is true if and only if it is part of of a coherent system of belief. So para mas lalo natin siya maunawaan, balikan muna natin yung salitang proposition kasi very important ito. Proposition is by definition, it is the content of the assertion, the underlying meaning of what a person is saying. It is language independent, according as a previous lesson natin, and it is considered as the primary bearers of truth. Whether there is a language being invented or not, the sky is blue will remain blue kahit walang mag-describe noon. Okay? So, yung proposition of the sky is blue, kahit hindi natin i-utter yung word the sky is blue, when we look at the sky is blue, sky will remain blue. Okay. Sa coherence theory of truth, according to this theory, a belief is true if and only if and only if it is part of a coherent system of beliefs. So, paano ito? Sa lesson natin sa Nature of Truth, gumawa ako ng paraan paano natin maunawaan ang bawat theories na ito. So, meron akong ginawang illustration na thought process kung tawagin. Sa thought process ng coherence theory of truth is first, every single individual human being has a system of belief. Whether vocal sila rito or not, meron silang system of belief. Paniniwala, paninindigan as a whole. Now, sa bawat system of belief, merong isa doon na particular belief nila. And kung i-utter nila yung particular belief na yon na related sa kanilang system of belief into statement, ay iimbestigahan po natin yung proposition na iyon if it coheres with his system of beliefs. So I have here an example. My worldview, let's say for example, my worldview or my belief system is that everything that exists is matter. Lahat ng bagay na nag-exist sa mundo, sa realidad, ay galing sa atoms and molecules, are material things. So, therefore, it follows that if everything that exists are material things, there are no immaterial things. Okay? So, meaning, So ibig sabihin guys that the proposition mind is a physical thing according to the coherence of truth, is this true? Okay, pag-isipan ninyo. If my worldview says that everything that exists in this reality are composed of atoms and molecules, namely material things, I am a materialist. So the statement, based on my belief, mind is a physical thing, of course, this is indeed true. Okay? Mind is a physical thing according to the coherence theory of truth is true if I am a materialist. Now, conclusion. Therefore, the belief is justified according to the coherence theory of truth if it coheres with the system of belief. Kung mapapansin natin dito, guys, although you may agree with it or not that mind is a physical thing, the thing is, according to the coherence theory of truth, this person believes that everything in reality that exists is composed of atoms and molecules, namely material things. He is a physicalist, he is a materialist, he's a naturalist. So therefore, guys, even yung mind niya is a physical thing. Whether we disagree or agree with this person, or whether we disagree with this person, kung pagbabasihan lang natin yung coherence theory of truth, then therefore, this statement is true. Okay? So, again, limit natin sa scope na ang pinag-uusapan lang natin ngayon is the coherence theory of truth. Alisin natin yung bagay na nag-agree ba tayo dito or hindi. Hindi yun yung issue. Okay? So, by necessary inference, that statement is true because it is justified according to the coherence theory of truth because it coheres with the system of beliefs. However, may problem ang coherence theory of truth kagaya ng correspondence theory of truth na may problem sa negative fact. Ang coherence theory of truth naman ay meron ding problem at ang problem niya is a belief can be based on falsehood and can still be true according to this theory if it coheres with its own system. So, um, dahil nagsimula siya sa isang false belief, namely a materialist, that everything that exists is are material things or is matter, then therefore the statement mind is a physical thing is not inconsistent with his belief system. Magiging false lang itong statement na ito that mind is a physical thing, magiging false lang ito according to the coherence theory of truth if ito ay hindi maging consistent or hindi mag-stick together sa kanyang system of belief. Okay? However, guys, ang problema nga ng coherence theory of truth is you can start with a false belief. So, if you have a belief which is a materialist, one might disagree na hindi ganun yun, pero kung magiging strict tayo sa coherence theory of truth, yun ang ibibigay niya sa atin. Okay? For as long as magiging consistent siya doon sa system of beliefs niya, then that's not a problem. So yun po si coherence theory of truth. Let's move on and let's go to pragmatic theory of truth. Ang mga pangunahing proponent po rito ay sina Charles Peirce, William James, and John Dewey. Pragmatic theory of truth is a theory of truth within the philosophies of pragmatism and pragmaticism. According to Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, pragmatism is a philosophical movement that includes those who claim that an ideology or proposition is true if it works satisfactorily. Tandaan niyo po itong word na ito. It is true if it works satisfactorily. That the meaning of a proposition is to be found in the practical consequences of accepting it and that unpractical ideas are to be rejected. Ang question ko lang dito, who decides whether the consequences are practical and consequences are unpractical? Okay, so let's leave that question for now. Let's hang that question for now. Tatalakayin natin sa ating epistemology. According to William James, sabi niya dito, sa kanyang very basic definition, it is useful because it is true or that it is true because it is useful. Doon tayo mag-stick sa definition na it is true because it is useful. Or, according to pragmatic theory of truth, truth is defined as what is useful. Truth is that what is useful, or truth is what is useful. So, again, merely reading that definition will really take us to, confusion, hindi natin maunawaan. Again, me personally find this thought process very helpful. Okay, so every person has a belief and i-convert niya ang kanyang belief into statement. At, at alam naman natin sa simula pa lamang na ang statement or proposition ay ito yung ginagamit natin para imbestigahan ang truth. Okay? So, after that, statement i-imbestigahan based on consequences. And I have two propositions here. So, to murder is wrong and to murder is right. Very basic. Okay, to murder is wrong and to murder is right. So, question is, which from the two propositions is true according to the pragmatic theory of truth? All right. Siguro mag-agree naman tayo that to murder is indeed wrong. Ang proposition na tama. Okay, why? Because it is pro-life. Okay, at face value, uh, at least meron tayong reason na it is pro-life. If we don't if we don't murder each other, then life will propagate. Tama naman. Tama naman. So, however, may problem ang pragmatic theory of truth. At ang problema niya is it abandons the search for absolute certainty. Now, why is that the case? So, let's say for example, merong let's have a scenario, nandito tayo sa loob ng classroom at um, medyo matindi ang pangangailangan ko. Okay? Now, meron akong subject natin ay PE at naglabasa na ang mga estudyante. So, nagpahuli ako. Wala namang CCTV. So, nagpahuli ako at meron ako nakitang bag. Hindi ko na chinek. So, maliit na bag at kinuha ko yung wallet sa loob ng bag. And then after that, um, nagpaalam ako nagpaalam ako sa teacher na nag-make ako ng alibi na masakit yung tiyan ko, so on and so forth. At nakauwi ako ng bahay and found out na ang pera na nandoon is worth 100,000 for example. Okay, 100,000. So, nagnakaw na ngayon siya, di ba? That's stealing. Then yung nanakawan, okay, yung nanakawan, of course, ano kaya ang gagawin niya? Ano kaya ang magiging reaction niya? Of course, it's painful para sa kanya dahil nawalan siya ng 100,000, right? So, ang problema dito is nawalan siya ngayon ng 100,000. Dati itong tao na to naniniwala dahil nawalan siya ng 100,000, naniniwala na masama talaga ang magnakaw based on his experience na ito ang consequence. Now, dahil nga na-experience niya yon, okay, merong pagkakataon na dumating sa buhay niya na naiwan din siya sa loob ng classroom at may isang may isang known na estudyante na medyo mapera. And since siya na lang mag-isa sa classroom, ay kinuha niya yung pera. Okay? Nung kinuha niya yung pera, at kinahapunan, nakauwi na siya ng bahay at nakita niya yung pera. Pag-check niya is 50,000 for example. Okay. So, from the belief na masama ang magnakaw, nagbago ang kanyang isip na ay hindi pala totally wrong ang pagnanakaw or stealing. Bakit? Kasi nagbe-benefit ako. Okay? So yan ang problema ng pragmatic theory of truth. It abandons for absolute certainty. Meron kang belief ngayon na pinaniniwalaan and since for you meron pang bagay na mas magwo-work dito para sa ikabubuti, para sa aking sarili, for me at the very least, then it works, therefore it's true. And you can also believe on things that are false for as long as it allows you to live. Na alam naman natin na pagnanakaw ay masama. But the thing is na may maraming magnanakaw dito sa mundo, ginagawa nila ito para makasurvive. and it works. Okay? It works. So, yan ang problema ng pragmatic theory of truth. So, therefore, the belief is justified according to the pragmatic theory of truth if it is useful according to how you live your own life. So makikita natin guys, I know what you're thinking. You may be thinking of relativism. Well, that's the result of having a view of pragmatism or pragmaticism. So itatakil naman natin yan sa susunod na subject po natin. But for now, yan lang muna. Again, as a review, coherence theory of truth, something is true if it coheres with a system of belief. At ang problem is you can start by a false belief and then followed by another false belief converted into statement and then investigate na nag-cohere naman sa previous statement mo. So, walang problema yon according sa coherence theory of truth. But again, that's a problem kasi nga magsisimula ka na magsisinungaling ka. And the warning para sa mga gusto magsinungaling, you cannot sustain it. Sa pragmatic theory of truth naman, it is true if it is useful. So, ang problema niya is kung merong tao, it abandons for the search of certainty. Kung merong tao na naniniwala ngayon na mali ito, dahil nga siya ang offendee, tinry niyang maging si offender at nakita niya na, uy, it works. So, nabago na ngayon yung kanyang paniniwala. Okay? So, yun lamang po. And maraming maraming salamat sa iyong pakikinig. Para sa mga mayroong question, just put that at the comment section. At sa mga estudyante ko, ay fini-flesh out ko po itong maigi. Hindi ko po ito in-explain ng ganito lang. So, thank you so much guys for watching. And please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future content. Thank you.